were a Starfleet captain, I would install seatbelts at every station on the bridge. I would also install seats for the officers who, for some undisclosed reasons, always have to stand up. From a sitting position, their jobs will be performed with equal efficiency, greater happiness, and, due to the new seatbelts, increased safety. If I were a Starfleet captain, I would permanently shut down the holodeck.
As I would explain to the crew, the holodeck encourages antisocial tendencies, denial, unhealthy inclinations, and extended, unnecessary, pretentious scenes.
Besides that, it's bound to go wrong eventually, and it'll get really dangerous. Not to mention weird.
For the crew's mental and physical well-being, the holodeck will be replaced by a gym, library, coffee shop, and chapel.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I'd get people working on figuring out exactly what replicator food is.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I would memorize the following words and phrases.
Red alert!
Divert power to the shields!
Compensate! Evasive maneuvers pattern... Just pick a letter of the Greek alphabet. I don't care which one. Damage report! Launch the photon torpedoes!
Fire!
Retreat! Retreat!
This would prepare me to meet any battle situation.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I would disassemble the self-destruct mechanism. There's no point. If I were a Starfleet captain, I would employ strict policy of avoiding any unusual and/or unexplained phenomena.
Temporal rifts, subspace distortions, collapsing stars, expanding black holes, stitches in time. Whenever one of these appears, I will order my crew to turn the ship an exact 180 degrees from the phenomena and depart at a brisk speed of warp 5.
Due to forward thinking such as this, I anticipate a longer, happier life for myself and all my crew.
If I was a Starfleet captain, I'd hire a private security team. Shipboard security never manages to apprehend anyone, ever.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I would not assure obviously hostile persons that I mean them no harm. For one thing, the fact that they are firing on my ship, menacing my officers with a weapon, or commandeering the ship's computer indicates that they do not care. For another thing, if they do not very shortly cease to fire, menace, or commandeer, I will mean them harm.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I'd listen very carefully to any advice my first officer has to give. If I'm ever wrong, he'll be the one to tell me. If I were a Starfleet captain, I would ban the color red from all uniforms, except for those worn by the most senior officers. In a related initiative, I would make it a policy to send only prominent deck officers into dangerous and hostile situations because they always come back.
If I were a Starfleet captain, and my ship unexpectedly crossed paths with eccentric scientists, superficially harmless wanderers, or mysterious aliens traveling alone, I would immediately order them clapped into the brig. And their ships impounded. They get you every time.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I'd turn the lights in 10 forward all the way up.
I'd replace those unnaturally colored drinks that appear to be foreign substances with ice cream sundaes. This would help to lift the gloomy atmosphere that too often pervades 10 forward.
If I were a Starfleet captain and a member of my crew started to show clear signs of insanity, I'd immediately consider that he's got some disease unknown to medical science, that he's been tampered with by an alien, that he is an alien, or that he's just out of a different space-time continuum. And I'd consider these despite complete and total lack of physical, statistical, and anecdotal evidence. Of course, I'd also consider that maybe he actually is insane, just in case they're trying to trick us.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I would memorize the Prime Directive so I could quote it just before disregarding it. If I were a Starfleet captain, I'd have new security protocols installed throughout the ship. I'm weary of having regular ship-wide takeovers by single rogue officers, random alien intruders, and anyone else who decides to give it a go.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I would never, upon meeting a new ship, lower my shields as a sign of good faith. Starfleet long ago confirmed by real-world experience and multiple statistical studies that hostile aliens do not always announce their violent intentions before acting on them. As such, this policy should protect us from needless damage to the ship, emotional stress to the crew, and possible total destruction.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I would rephrase the command fire at will because,
Fire at will.
If I were a Starfleet captain, I would not be stupid.
If I were a Starfleet captain,
If I were a Starfleet captain, If I were a Starfleet captain,
If I were a Starfleet captain,
I would lead the safest, happiest, most well-adjusted crew in all of Starfleet. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. A lot of today's video was actually drawn very directly from a blog post written by Shannon McDermott called If I Were a Starfleet Captain. It's at www.shannonmcdermott.com, link in the description. Don't forget to comment below, what would you do if you were a Starfleet captain? Anyway, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.